What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here, and welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, the two new upcoming packages, the next physical infrastructure package, known as the American Jobs Plan, and the next stimulus package, known as the American Families Plan, which is part one and part two of the overall kind of larger package, which is those two packages known as the Build Back Better package. We actually have a major announcement today from the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer regarding the passing of these next two packages, everything that's going to happen. If you've been watching the show, you know I love to show you articles and sources directly on screen and show you guys the exact senators or President Biden or White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki directly themselves so that you know everything that goes on the show is no lie, everything's the truth. And that's why I like to show you all my articles every day. If we're talking about, hey, these people want a forced stimulus check, or President Biden said something positive about the next stimulus check, I show it to you right there on the screen. And when possible, I'll show you their direct speeches. We're going to do that here today. Also, make sure to watch all the way to the end for a special guest appearance who's been begging me to be on the show. So make sure to watch all the way to the end for that special guest appearance. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so you don't miss out on new updates. New videos come on every day on this channel at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, thank you so much for giving these videos a like. It really helps out our channel. Okay, first, let's go to Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer about the next infrastructure package, the American Jobs Plan, the next stimulus package, the American Families Plan, and possibly combining them two. That's how they originally started, called the Build Back Better Plan. Whether they're going to pass it through bipartisan support, which means both Republicans and Democrats, or through the reconciliation process, which is how the Democrats passed the third stimulus check package without a single Republican vote. We'll listen to him, and then we'll come back and I'll explain everything for you guys. And also, then we'll be talking more about the stimulus checks and unemployment and several different things.
I want to thank Senators Durbin and Murray and Stabenow. We had a great caucus meeting today, and we have to get a lot done. So I made it clear to my caucus we're moving ahead on two very important issues: voting rights and Build Back Better. Before the end of the month, the Senate will vote on crucial voting rights legislation. The discussion on our caucus is going to continue on this issue. We'll be holding a special caucus meeting later this week to continue discussing the best path for voting rights legislation. Now, on infrastructure, we continue to work well on the process that goes in two directions. One, bipartisan, and we're working on a bipartisan infrastructure proposal to meet the demands of the 21st century. As I've said from the start, discussions on this whole big infrastructure proposal, and when I say infrastructure, I mean physical and human. We're not just talking about physical. But the discussions on them are progressing on two tracks. One track is bipartisan, and the second track pulls in other elements of Biden's American Jobs Plan.
Now, remember, when they say human infrastructure, they mean stimulus programs, stimulus checks, child tax credits, raising Social Security, expanding Medicare, everything that they're talking about in the fourth stimulus check package, the American Jobs Plan, or I'm sorry, the American Families Plan. They consider that human infrastructure.
One track is bipartisan, and the second track pulls in other elements of Biden's American Jobs Plan and American Families Plan, which will be considered even if it doesn't have bipartisan support, as will pay-fors be considered even if they don't have bipartisan support. Our Senate committees are working on both tracks at the same time. And as I've said from the start, in order to move forward on infrastructure, we must include bold action on climate. At the moment, both tracks, as I said, are moving forward and progressing very well. Tomorrow, I'm convening a meeting with all 11 Democratic members of the Senate Budget Committee regarding a fiscal year 22 budget resolution. And now that President Biden's fiscal 22 budget request has been received by Congress, the Budget Committee can begin the important work of producing a budget resolution, especially with respect to the Jobs and Family Plan. As you know, a budget resolution will outline how we go forward and includes issues that are affected, that are part of reconciliation. So both are moving forward, the bipartisan track and the track on reconciliation. And both, we hope, to get done.
Okay, so basically, Chuck Schumer is saying there that they're running out of time. They're tired of waiting. They're tired of waiting on Republicans to come to a compromise. And I'm not against Republicans or Democrats. I'm just kind of reiterating what he's saying there, right? They're tired of waiting, and they're going to now start moving forward with both the budget reconciliation process kind of in the background, as well as moving forward on bipartisan. So we have two different groups right now that are negotiating on the physical infrastructure bipartisan group or bipartisan deal. There has been a deal made in the Senate between 10 senators, 5 Republicans, 5 Democrats. Senator Joe Manchin is part of the 5 Democrats there, along with Kirsten Sinema. However, we don't know if the Democrats are going to accept that deal or if even the rest of the Republicans are going to need that deal, accept that deal. We have had now several Democrats come out and say, including Senator Bernie Sanders, Senate Budget Chairman, who says they're not going to go for a smaller deal just to make Republicans happy. A lot of Democrats are starting to come out and saying, hey, we were elected to both control the House, the Senate, and the presidency, and we should do what people elected us to do, and we should do exactly what is our agenda, and not necessarily do these much smaller packages that the Republicans want. However, we have then Democratic senators like Joe Manchin who are saying, no, 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 we should do a deal with the Republicans. We should do a bipartisan deal. And this is what he said for the third stimulus check package as well. And ultimately, he did end up voting with the Republicans when all, or I'm sorry, with the Democrats. He did end up voting with the Democrats when all was said and done. Boy, what a Freudian slip there, right? Yeah, again, about 99% of the time, he does vote with the Democrats. We have some people on this channel or commenters who say he's a dino, he's a Democrat in name only, just like people call a lot of Republicans like Mitt Romney a rhino, Republican in name only. But even Mitt Romney and Joe Manchin, they still vote with their own parties, Democrat or Republican, about 99% of the time. Very rarely do they defect. But yeah. So, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says that they are triggering and starting the reconciliation process today, and this way they're gonna start moving forward on the paperwork and all the things they need to do for the reconciliation process in the background, which would combine the two packages, which is the infrastructure package and the stimulus package, the American Jobs Plan and the American Families Plan, to combine them and pass them as one big package through the reconciliation process. That would actually make a lot of Democrats happy. All the Republicans will hate it, and we won't get a single Republican vote that way. But as long as all the Democrats vote together, including Senator Joe Manchin, like he did for the third stimulus check, they'll be able to pass it through the good old reconciliation process. But again, they'll need to get all the Democratic votes, every single one of them in the Senate. So if the Democrats do end up going that route, they'll probably have to make some concessions to Senator Joe Manchin. So he did vote with the Democrats for the third stimulus check package, and ultimately they passed it. And those have the largest stimulus checks yet to date: $1,400 for adults, $1,400 for children, $1,400 for college students and adult dependents, along with the child tax credit increase to $3,000 per year. Well, just for 1 year for children ages 6 through 17, and $3,600 for children under the age of 6. And the IRS is going to start sending out that money in monthly payments, $250 to $300 per month, starting on July 15th for the second half of this year. And the first half of this year will go on those people's tax returns. The person who claims the child as a dependent is going to obviously get these checks. Now, it's interesting to note that both Senator Bernie Sanders, who's the Senate Budget Chairman, the person in charge of the budget reconciliation process, as well as Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, who we just seen spoke, they are both in favor of and have signed a public letter that is for not just a fourth stimulus check, but actually for monthly recurring stimulus checks that would continue until the pandemic is declared over. Checks that would go out every single month. And this is not the child tax credits. This is basically if you qualified for the third stimulus check, you would likely qualify for this fourth stimulus check package as well. They are both in favor of this bill right here, which is for $2,000 monthly stimulus checks, which is a bill in the Senate that is co-sponsored by Senator Ed Markey and Elizabeth Warren. But as I said, both Senator Bernie Sanders and Chuck Schumer, the Senate Majority Leader, are both in favor of this bill, along with over half of the Democrats in the Senate, 28 people. There is also around a little bit more than half of the Democrats in the House of Representatives as well that are in favor of monthly stimulus checks as well, including this bill that is introduced in the House of Representatives by Michigan Representative Rashida Tlaib, but more importantly, Democratic Representative Jayapal, who is the leader of the Democratic Progressive Caucus, which that alone is about half of all the Democrats in the House of Representatives. Their bill is for a $2,000 one time stimulus check, then followed by $1,000 monthly recurring payments that would go until 1 year after the pandemic is declared over because the economic recovery is going to take a while, even when if the virus is ever gone. President Biden himself has actually said some very positive things over the last several days regarding a fourth stimulus check. That he is apparently open to a fourth stimulus check. He's happy to hear about them, and that if Congress wants to include it, they can. And he is open to a fourth stimulus check. He actually hasn't said a single negative thing about a fourth stimulus check at all. And this particular process is eerily similar to the second stimulus check package when we needed more and more support. And as they got closer to passing the package, we basically had an outcry, a roar of support from, at that time, it was both parties. We had a lot of Republican senators, like Senator Josh Hawley, that were leading the charge as well from the Republican side. And even at the time, former President Donald Trump, who said these $600 stimulus checks that were added in just days before they passed the second stimulus check package. There was no stimulus check in that package until about 5 or 6 days before they passed it. And then they passed it in the House and the Senate, went to former President Donald Trump's desk. He was president at the time, and he's like, these $600 stimulus checks are tiny. They need to be way more. They need to be $2,000. Well, of course, we know that Mitch McConnell, who was the leader of the Senate at that time, squashed that bill. Even though it passed in the House with both bipartisan support, we had Republican support as well. And of course, we had a Republican president asking for it. Mitch McConnell let that die, didn't even let it go to a vote. It probably would have passed. And we know that President Biden ended up passing it in his first stimulus package, anyways, when he came into power, in the presidency. So Mitch McConnell lost the Senate Majority Leader then, and a lot of Democrats are saying that they're reluctant to pass as much as they can here, and they have a little bit over a year to pass all these other stimulus packages. They're already talking about another stimulus package after this. They get a whole nother set of reconciliation cards come October 1st, which is the start of the new fiscal year. So there's going to be multiple different packages coming with all sorts of different things in there. There's about 20 different items they're negotiating on right now, including a fourth stimulus check, monthly recurring stimulus checks, Social Security increases. There's three different proposals for that. Medicare expansion to include hearing, dental, vision, and hearing aids completely for free, no additional costs for Medicare, and lower the Medicare eligibility age to age 60 or even as low as age 55. They're pushing for 2 years of free preschool, 2 years of free college for all adults that make below the income threshold, which will probably be the same as the third stimulus check. So if they pass that in this next package, you can literally go to college, 2 years of free community college for free, paid for by the government, no different than kindergarten through grade 12 would be. So there's a lot of groundbreaking things they're working on right now. In addition to extending the child tax credits at this higher amount with these monthly payments until 2025. We actually have some Republican support for that as well, because, well, nobody wants children living in poverty. And hopefully, we will also see a lot of things for seniors and people on Social Security. The two really big ones there are the Medicare expansion and additional Medicare benefits, as well as the Social Security additional benefits, and or I should say Social Security raises. I'll link you to those videos here in a moment. But first, our special guest wanted to come and say hi to you. All right, say hi to everybody. This is my son Julian, who just turned. How old are you?
Please.
3 years old. Yeah. How do you feel about being three? Yeah. And did you tell everybody that you went to a playground yesterday? Yeah. Tell them you went down the slides. Yeah. Maybe we'll show everybody the footage that we got of you in an upcoming video. Do you like slides?
Yeah.
What else did you like to play on? Did you tell them you went on the teeter totter with mommy?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like the teeter totter, huh? Yeah. And what else did you do? You sat by the campfire, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we played at the playground. Say, I love you. Bye bye.
I love you.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Wave bye. So let me know your thoughts of little Julian there. He loves to come on the show. He asks me all the time, "Hey, Daddy, can I come film with you?" So I like to oblige him and bring him on the show for him to see you and share a little bit of our family with you. So if you haven't yet, subscribe down below. It's completely free to do so. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. You can click this bottom video about all the states, cities, and counties that are passing stimulus checks. And you can click this video to see President Biden's Social Security raise. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.